Hello, everyone, and welcome to Data+Women Zurich. We're delighted to have you with us today. Data+Women is a global community that promotes the visibility of women in data, analytics, and artificial intelligence. Through our events, we create opportunities to learn, connect, and share ideas with professionals from across the industry. Today, we're continuing our AI Chemist series. In this series, we meet inspiring women who combine data, AI, expertise, and creativity to create real-world impact and help shape the future. I'm excited to introduce today's AI chemist, Chung. Ji is an executive director at UBS, where she leads non-financial risk insights and AI innovation. She has successfully delivered large-scale transformation initiatives and is passionate about using data and emerging technologies to create business value. Please join me in welcoming Chung. We hope you enjoy today's conversation.
AI at your dispense. I was doing a lot of quantitative analysis until I went from client finance team to the core compliance team. In compliance, we deal with a lot of unstructured information. One example is surveillance. When we do communication surveillance, you listen to the transcript and you read the transcripts. It's a large amount of unstructured information, and people uses lexicon searches, pattern recognition, right, to go through all those communications.
So that means they're
To
looking
me,
for like specific keywords like
yeah,
Cuba or like sanctioned
yes,
countries or things like that.
yes, that's right. It's really fascinating to me because if I were to read all those paragraphs, and takes years and months to finish this, but algorithm can do that in minutes. So to me, that's really a game changer. I realize how much technology, advanced technology, can help us to understand the information. And then later on, I switched to non-financial risk. And then unstructured data is even more important in my day-to-day job, because just reporting what has happened, how many operational events we have recorded in the system is really not enough. We have to read the detail, understand what's happening, and draw the conclusions from all the text. I think, at that time, I realized machine learning, AI is really going to drive, is a game changer in the field I'm working.
So I guess
Thank you.
how long ago was that? See, would you say 10 years or more, or 15,
Uh,
20?
no, less.
That's okay.
Yeah, I started compliance about 2017, 2018. Non-financial risk is more recent, about 7, 8 years ago.
Okay.
But even then, right, Gen AI was not a thing yet. And the most advanced things we use was NLP.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess after you joined compliance, I think a few years later, you had started building this platform, right, for non-financial risk. So can you talk more about that? Because I think you won an award from that, right? From this outside risk net. So can you give us more details about that? Because it's
Yeah.
always great to win an award and be recognized for such a advanced technology, advanced things that you're doing.
Yeah. So it's really not me, it's a group of professionals. We have a team of data scientists, visualization engineers, and also support from the back end. What truly distinguished us of that platform was we took a really holistic approach. Visualization is almost the last step of the process. We focus a lot on setting up the right data foundation, having reliable data feed, correct information. We use advanced data lineage and transformation techniques to make sure the quality and reliability of the information is there. Definitely, the thoughtful and stylish visual analytics is a key. That's where, what Amazon says, right? The most difficult part, the last mile, and that's where we deliver the information, the complex information in a easy, understandable fashion. So the whole team, we worked really hard in developing the whole process, but then as we have the information presented to the users, what we realize is, okay, these are the numbers, these are the stories, but can you give us more meaningful interpretation of those numbers? And then our team started experiment some of the more advanced and analytical techniques. For example, we use the natural language processing to derive the insights from the unstructured text, doing similarity analysis, utilize the network and the graph-based computing to find the community and detect the little communities, construct correlation networks to discover patterns and dependencies. That allows us to do some systematic concentration risk analysis. And with that information, the risk managers can utilize the information with the insight to do their risk mitigation.
That's great. Can you just give us any examples of some insights that came from this more advanced analytics?
I don't know if people are familiar with risk self-assessment. So within a bank, we have different product functions, and then across different regions and the locations. Each kind of this intersect, each function location intersect form a sort of risk profile. To compare different risk profiles with different underlying product or process construct is now very simple, just based on human eyes. That's where we use this clustering and networking analysis to compare two complex risk profiles side by side. That's one thing we did in the past. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. So not all everything that we start or we leads going to what the innovation that we going to dive in really followed like a straight line, like you were describing the approach that you took, the data foundation, the data line lineage and everything, but at the end we can see that nothing is like a straight line like you described, but is there any way that you have when you had up like cutting edge tech, you always have like few setback, and maybe you can share with us a moment when it didn't work out and how did you overcome that?
Yeah. We actually had a recent event.
Oh. It happened
My
everywhere.
team, we were helping our country control framework team doing some enhanced monitoring. So we use the prompt and certain AI models to detect unexpected behaviors. And then in the past, the data scientist we work with, right, he's a really intelligent and producing reliable mm, products. So when we saw the first results from the analysis, the outcome is really aligned with our expectation, and we thought, oh, this is great. And then instead of doing really thorough due diligence, check enough samples to validate the results, um, we just passed on to the users and downstream users. And then later on, they found out, oh, the result is not truly correct. And
Mhm.
many of you probably knows nowadays using large language model in a chat box, when you ask the question, right, you get the answer, but sometimes the answer may not could through could be hallucinated and is
Yeah.
not fully correct, right?
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
then
You
turned
ask the same
out,
question, you get different answers
yeah,
each time.
that's right.
because it's
And
going to
turned
be
out
probabilistic and yeah.
exactly. And then turned out this data scientist has used the wrong logic. And then even though the result turns out seems to be a plausible, but the logic is completely wrong.
Mm,
What I learned was no matter how close or how seemingly correct the AI output is, we always need to do our due diligence and balance what the automation efficiency provided to you versus you know keeping human oversight,
mm,
Mhm.
human in the loop. And then turned out the entire prompt the data scientists used was incorrect. And then we corrected it, and then trying to gain the trust back from our client.
mm.
But each time when you deliver something, you you didn't catch the arrow, but the client catch the arrow. Um, there's a damage to the trust.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Accuracy is going to be an issue. So that means that as well in terms of when we do data analysis is going to be requesting directly the question from the business directly to the models. But at the end, there are always like a validation step that need to be conducted, right?
Yeah, and I find that is really critical. Even in the
Yeah.
past, Clarissa, Natalie,
Mhm.
when we work
Yeah.
together, right?
Mm, mm,
Um, when we had the initial product, we are all very excited and
mm.
present this. But then later on, doing the real validation, reconciliation, make sure data continue to be accurate over time. It's a very tedious work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's super important.
Yeah. Yeah. But nowadays with AI, and we can schedule things, have AI checks on AI. And this is something we are trying to implement. Yeah.
Mhm. So we talked about your past, right?
Mhm.
What you learned and from previous experiences. So now we kind of move forward to the now and the present. And you said you adopted NLP, so language processing, and Tableau many years ago when it was just sort of not even known to most people. And then today, how do you keep your skills sharp? What are you using?
Um, um, work-wise, recently we created a new product. It's mostly using AI models, the classification AI models and the graph models, and then overlay that is the agentic approach, using agent to call out the model results. We did interesting application focusing on non-financial risk, different risk signals, combine them. I do think AI is growing so fast, and then for people who truly understand the mechanism and can utilize that on large amount of data will really will propel. So on the personal front, I try to leverage all the online learning resources. UBS offers us free courses from Coursera, and then outside UBS, many other social media platforms you can learn as long as you can find time. My current role as the NFR AI lead has allowed me to gain exposure to internal AI use cases where I have seen some truly inspirational development. I'm always interested in finding new use cases, new solutions. And I think reaching out, broaden your reach, and make sure you know the current development is really important. Personally, I believe the most effective way to keep my skills sharp is learning by doing. Since last year, my boss gave me several really challenging assignments, and I just took the crash course and trying to solve those problems and reach out to the experts when I need, and then really try to develop some hands-on experience.
So you just roll up your sleeves, do it yourself, test things, and see if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
and try something else, right?
Yes, absolutely. For example, recently, a team is facing problem in creating training videos, and I found out within UBS, we work closely with Synthesia, is AI empowered video generation and the avatars and the AI avatars. You see, our research team started using them a year ago. And I tried to get the trail license and did some training videos. I find it's really interesting to learn the new skills, but the good news is AI, now everything you can just ask for help and using AI to help you to do AI projects.
Did you create an avatar yourself that could do
That
these
costs
videos?
money. I didn't do
Okay.
it. I used those, they have a stock avatars. It's quite interesting. And doing editing of the video becomes so much easier.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree completely. But what I'm seeing the last few months is a really acceleration of the AI and what we can do with it. And I feel, from speaking for myself, it's really hard to keep up and even to start somewhere, because there is so many area where you can use the AI in your project and even in your personal project. So we need to be continuously learning. And I'm also curious about the tool that have become part of your daily routine. Well, for me, for example, I've been using some the tool as a teacher. I'm learning German, and is always by my side explaining me some words. It's really difficult to learn German, sure, and it's helped me a lot. But it's still me who have to do the work. But sometimes we're talking about accuracy, but sometimes even for something that's really simple, the language is going to give a wrong answer. But that's okay. We know it, and it's going to still happen. And so now that we know the tool that the big corporate are using, you on your personal routine, what are your favorite AI application for your daily life, and why? If you can answer to that question,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, I have several favorites.
Wow,
Yes,
I'm too loyal
Chat,
for that.
yeah, yeah. And ChatGPT still to me gives the more reliable, in depth, technical and domain specific research results. I really like ChatGPT. When I have some scientific questions I need to ask, or discussing even non-financial risk, how to do the deeper dives and
Do you brainstorm with it? Like have a
yeah, brainstorm
conversation.
with it. Yeah, and then ChatGPT also has a really advanced medical knowledge. Sometimes
Oh,
if I need second opinion, I can just upload my results, and you get doctor's results, and sometimes they don't even know what they are talking about. I upload and it gives me really clear translation. Another thing is, we take vitamins or different medicines, and I describe the dosage I'm taking and the brand, and then it will analyze, tell you what's the right schedule of taking those different pills, and what could be the counterfact, or um, maybe conflict by taking certain things at same time. I really like ChatGPT from that standpoint, and then Gemini. I feel like it has a broader knowledge because it's a Google build, has a really large data sets behind it. Um, I use Gemini for uh, like a trip planning,
oh,
restaurant
that's how I use Gemini
recommendations,
mostly, me too.
and then create graphic outputs, etc. And then I started using Gemini Studio to do the vibe coding, because it's free. You don't have to pay. Like if you use Anthropic cloud, there's a
Mhm.
minimum fee you have to pay. Um, Another one I am thinking about trying is the AI aggregator. For example, POE, by Quora. You can sign up onto the platform and you can use different models. Now you don't have to stick with one model. So you pay one fee and you have access to different AI models.
Okay, I didn't know about this one.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing.
no problem.
Uh,
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess I need to expand my use of it more beyond just Gemini and searching, telling me where I can go on my summer vacations, because that's my main use of AI at the moment. So, the results that you get, right, from using ChatGPT or from Gemini, it's only as good as what you put into it, kind of, right? It's similar philosophy, like bad crap data in and crap results out. So that what you put in is like the prompt, right? And that's very important. So just one small word actually can change the results. So what's your prompting philosophy? How do you approach it versus like a casual user, and what advice do you give people?
Yeah, I don't just ask vague questions, general questions. I tend to ask more well-defined questions, including the sufficient context, set clear expectations for the desired output. When I have more complex analytical questions or tasks to do, I try to break the problem down to smaller logical chunks. If you ask too many compound questions in one go, I feel AI model don't give you good enough answers. So I do step-by-step approach, setting the stage, and it will allow it understand what I'm trying to get to. And then, so I think sometimes a certain question I ask require reasoning, right? I always ask for the rationale behind the answers. Another approach I have used is prompt the AI to act as a panel of experts and have them debate among themselves. And then you can see their thought process and you get a multi-angle perspective of the problem.
Okay, that's a really good idea. I haven't heard about that one, actually.
Yeah.
I've heard
Play
about,
devils and advocate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was told like sometimes you just ask it to ask you questions, right? And then, or
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
questions and you answer, and then iteratively it'll come to
Yeah.
more a better result for you based on a
Yeah.
set.
And also sometimes I ask them disapprove what they, what they gave to you. So you
I also just
you get a counter
yeah
argument. Yeah.
yeah. I also ask one ChatGPT to give me a good prompt, and then I use it in Gemini. I also found that works pretty well actually too. It's a little bit lazy person's approach though.
Yes, and like you say, as we start to rely like increasingly on AI for like daily tasks and more complex tasks as well. What is there is like we might stop thinking at one point because we rely completely on, on what is going to be the answer, even with not all the accuracy that we expect, but we are going to still ask, and we are going to become more and more lazy in thinking by ourselves how we can answer a specific question, and even organizing our holidays, like you were talking.
Yeah.
What is the line between using AI for efficiency and becoming, like you were saying, Clarissa, cognitively lazy? And how do you ensure that using AI will augment your mind rather than replace critical thinking? And I'm thinking I'm augmented by AI because it helped me learn German. That's my example for today. But how we'll do for the more complex tasks where we are going to ask ourselves to think about something really, really specific. It's so easy to take the answer from the AI directly without cross-checking all the resources that the AI have. So what do you think about this line? How are we going to become really stupid at the end?
I think it depending on how you want to value your time, where you want to spend time on. Like you said, certain things, doing research on restaurants and trip planning, I prefer to give the task to AI. It's not because I'm not doing the critical thinking. It's certain tasks I prefer having higher efficiency. But when it comes to analysis research, I always advise people think before you ask. I like using Google, right? Just do the fact finding. I use AI support some of my research on specific topics, and also sometimes those topics demand a lot of data gathering and analysis. My approach typically involves me thinking about my hypothesis and have formed my own arguments, and then I provide this to AI, and then asking it to validate, challenge, and give me more in-depth analysis. One thing I like is at each turn after you ask the question, right? At the end, it always give you suggestions. Do you want me to do this, do that? And then sometimes these recommendations are really different from my own initial thoughts. That really offering a good opportunity for me to reflect and examine my own approaches. I feel that's a good learning opportunity for me. And sometimes also spark the new ideas. You just keep on going and going. Yeah. And ultimately, I do not, just solely rely on AI for answers. Clarissa, like you said earlier, I like to bounce off my ideas with AI, treating it as my thinking body and a person that I can bounce off idea with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should try to do that more often. It's a good point.
Yeah, so it just in fact opening her mind, and because it spark new idea, it can spark creativities and other thinking as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
So we're a Tableau group. And so here's our very key question, right? Some people think AI will replace Tableau and Power BI. So how do you think it will change data visualization?
I do think it's going to change how we think about dashboard and creating dashboard going forward, because web coding now is much easier. The other day, I put in my thoughts into Copilot. That's our UBS AI tool that we can use. Really, just describing what I'm trying to do, and then I got a nice dashboard layout. I look at the dashboard design, I was really impressed. So I do think at some point in the future, Tableau and Power BI will be facing challenges. However, I don't think it's going to be a complete replacement, because both Tableau and Power BI still have very strong backbone of those applications. Industry like where we work in, right, in the finance industry, audit trail, the traceability and security is a highly valued. I think the traditional dashboard still has advantage on that. But more and more, I think if you just want to do prototyping, you want to sketch a new design or customize certain components, I think the web coding and also React based dashboarding, it's really convenient to use.
Yeah, indeed, and especially because change how we consume the data. Consuming the data from vibe coding and React object, that's going to be really different. That looking like more static dashboard. But I think, like you were saying, we need both. What is going to be different is the way that the data is going to be consumed by the people who want answers.
Yeah.
So I think we can open up for a Q&A, right, Natalie? Or
Yes, right. So exactly, it's really time for the Q&A. Well, and thank you, Z, for sharing your your lesson and your stories and how you approach AI. And what we can see is that in this innovation, it's a lot about the curiosity and the experimentation on the technology that you express in this conversation. So thank you for having the time to discuss that with us. And yeah, let's now open the discussion for the audience. And so if we have any question, I didn't check yet, but that's the Q&A, no question. So this is your turn if you want to answer some question from the. No questions. Let me check the Q&A. No question from here. So if we don't have questions, everyone is moderator, so everyone, you can open your mic and your camera if you want to have a little chat with us, or share your experience about how you're using AI in your daily routine, professional or personal. Okay, no. So let's close the session then.
Thank you.
thank you so much. See, really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Yes, thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, Z, so much for sharing your time and your expertise and your vision with us today. And well, it's meant me a lot when I was working with you, and you were always exploring new things and how to approach data in a different way. And
Yeah.
I found that out today again when you were explaining what you were doing today with AI, and it's been a long time yet. So thank you very much. I'm sure everyone is living with new ideas and perspective, and how I can impact our work and our lives as well.
Yeah, thanks so much,
Thank you
Z, for all the, I
very
guess, great
much.
ideas. I will try to put that in practice this weekend. I'll let you know.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
inviting
Our
me.
question
Have a,
other? No, this is
yeah.
thank you. No, this is thank you. No
Everyone is saying
question.
thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you so much,
Okay, thank
everyone, for
Thank
joining
you.
you.
as
Thank
well.
you
Have a
very
Bye-bye.
nice
much.
day.
I stop the
Bye.
recording.
Bye-bye.
Up.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.